welcome back to the UBF podcast. Missed you, Tom.
Mr. Abdul, I missed you more than most people, mate.
Mate, you know what we need to start it off with?
Talk to me.
We apologise with the teas for the last, 3 days. Meant to come out on Sunday.
Poor form from us. Yeah, it's like a Chelsea this season, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that bad.
Are you Chelsea fan now?
No, we're not that bad.
Oh, okay.
Chelsea are just rubbish. So, yeah, look, we had a bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll just own it.
We'll own it.
Yeah, move forward.
You know, the video's live as we speak now too.
Yeah,
so
hopefully it's tracking well.
Hope you guys are enjoying it. And yeah. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been not bad. I'll tell you what, football obsessed for the past 4 or 5 days. I don't have the physical capabilities like I used to, Abdul, even though at the ripe old age of 22. What about yourself?
Mate, well, I celebrated my birthday yesterday.
How was it?
Mate, it was awesome. Scored 6 goals in indoor.
Is that a New Jersey by any chance?
Yeah, some bloke dropped it off in my house yesterday. I wonder who it was.
We'll see what happens, mate. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they reveal themselves before the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Abdul, mate, take us away. Big game, big week.
The Premier League, man, it never fails to disappoint. It really doesn't.
Hey, unpopular opinion, I think it's the best season that we had in a while, I'll be honest.
Yeah, probably because City haven't stormed away with it yet.
Arsenal were leading the league last year, if you don't remember yourself.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Look, it's been a really, really interesting season in the sense of everyone's taking points off everyone. Like we're seeing Everton stomp teams 3-0 on the bounce. We're seeing Aston Villa beat City with 22 shots to 2 last week. We're seeing, even Palace putting up a fight against Liverpool this week. Like you don't know. We played Luton last week and we almost lost. You can't go into any game,
baby.
Yeah,
okay, mate, save it for you. So I think there's only one place to start up, to be honest.
Villa Arsenal.
It is the mighty Villa, mate. The mighty Villa got up, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think your matchup of the week was Villa Arsenal last week.
It was, and it didn't disappoint.
Bit upset, be honest with me.
Look, I'm upset, but I'm proud of. Honestly, I think the manager couldn't have done any more.
No.
I think we set up correctly. I think we adjusted correctly.
Yeah.
It's just we got let down by finishing. Odegaard missing chances that he generally scores 90% of the time.
He had 2 big ones. 2 big chances that he had.
And that is Odegaard on a plate. Like he bangs those.
First time cut back. Just has to take it. It was poor. It was poor, but should we get into the referee decisions? Or would we like to start with the stats? What are you feeling?
Before we got onto the referees, let's talk about it tactically, so we don't make it sound that a specific Arsenal fan at this table's making up excuses.
7th minute, Big McGinn.
Yeah,
struck early. He struck early,
and it hurt. Yeah, it was like a big game, and the last thing you want to do is concede first 10 minutes in a game, and they just chilled. Yeah, they sat back. Well, I wouldn't call it sitting back and parking a bus, but they were stubborn. I
think Luis had a brilliant game because Kamara had a poor one, I'll be honest. Yeah. Luis really stepped up and he really shadowed that back four. He stood up, acted strong and acted like a marshal. And I think that's where Odegaard got a bit lost because Luis pocketed him. He put him out of his game, put him out of his zone. Yeah. And I think that's where, for me, that's where Villa won the game. I'll be honest. I think, did Luis get man of the match?
I don't
It could have been McGinn with the goal. But for me, it should have been Luis. Luis absolutely pocketed it, and that ran his midfield and he shadowed that back line brilliantly.
Look, that was a below the standard Odegaard performance.
Yeah, I agree.
But there is a man who stood out for me.
Talk to me.
King Kai.
Here we go again,
Kai
guys.
Havertz.
Week 2.
Mate, week 2 and he hasn't disappointed yet. So,
talk to me, Abdul. Why do you think that is?
He's getting his confidence back.
Yeah.
Forget the football. He went up to Martinez by the end of that game and just wanted to floor the bloke. He's got back his hunger. He's happy. He wants to play for the team. Yeah. The runs he's getting him behind. He's running. He's running.
He's surprisingly quick as well. Yeah. He can move.
He's got a stride. 6'3", 6'4".
He gallops.
He does.
He's like a thoroughbred.
He's like a giraffe, isn't he? He's running. I love it.
Big lanky giraffe. He goes. But I'll tell you what. Martinez, for me, he really pissed me off that game. And even during the World Cup, especially because I'm Croatian, he pissed us off with his little tactics, and especially against the Dutch as well. This was the first time I've seen him this year really stir it up. I understand that Havertz ran into him, but as a leader in that Villa dressing room, as an experienced player, you don't unsettle your team like that. You don't. You just keep the ball. Okay, you got fouled, take the foul, play.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have done that to Kai.
No, it's the little things as well. In all honesty, taking his time to get up. You know, it's kind of the way I noticed there was a point where the ball came to him. Easy catch. Yeah. He purposely dropped it right in front of him.
Yeah,
so they played it. Like, it's, all right, once or twice in a game, the 86th minute, 88th minute, go for it. But, brother, it's the 22nd minute. Like, come on, mate. It's Emery, your old club as well.
Emery masterclass, mate.
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. Honestly, no.
Game management.
No. Had nothing to do with game management. I know. Had absolutely everything to do with the fact that we could not finish.
That is what
Odegaard missing chances. Jesus taking the touch of, like, my grandmother could take a better touch there to score a goal. Like, that's not the Jesus we know.
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
And even the Harvard, you know, we'll get into the refereeing decisions.
Yeah.
But Martinelli's output was disgusting.
Poor.
It was poor.
For me, he's been a below standard this year. In terms of his finishing aspect, for me, he's been below. And I think Saka has really not carried the team. There's been others. But I think Saka has really carried Martinelli on his back. In terms of finishing.
This season, yes, I agree.
But Martinelli, besides that, he didn't take as many players on, in my opinion. He didn't look confident.
Tommy, he didn't have to. He got him behind the whole game and he was through.
Yeah.
He just couldn't pass the ball back. Like, as in the amount of times he got to that byline. Yeah. And I think he didn't need to get to that byline. This is Martinelli we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're playing a centre-back at right-back, who I believe it was Konza that was playing right-back.
Correct.
You have the speed. I know Konza's quick.
Yeah.
But he's not as agile as, you know.
Martinelli.
As Martinelli.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can take him on. And I've seen Martinelli take Walker. You're telling me you can't. You can take Walker on and have his right winger come down, defend with him all game because Kyle Walker
I know.
is struggling against you. But you can't take Eric Konza on. Make it make sense.
Mate, Big Eric, I'll tell you what.
It's ridiculous, mate.
It is.
Like, sorry. I know I'm
No, absolutely, I understand.
But for me, Kai Havertz and Declan Rice, I'd argue possibly Saliba by that one flustered pass he made.
One moment, yeah.
But even then, he cleared it out for a corner.
Yes, correct.
They've been our rock all season, like especially this last 6 weeks. I'm not gonna say all season because Kai is probably
they've been your go-to.
Yeah, it's you're getting effort from them, and I can go back to that Newcastle game for example, and I could see that Kai and Declan were the ones that stood up physically to them. Yes. Today, Kai Havertz is not today. Sorry, on the weekend, Kai Havertz stood up to them physically as well. So it's just a matter of like you need to be on your game because now Liverpool's ahead of us.
True, but I think Villa Park is a very tough place to go, and they've got 15 wins on the bounce. When the crowd gets behind them, it is an absolute fortress. Trust me, I was watching it up the sport, and you don't understand, mate. My ears were bleeding. Look, it was pumping. With
all due respect, they can pump all they want. We had them that game.
You did. I think after the 10 minute, as I was saying before, Louise absolutely shattered that back line. And from the 10th minute, they didn't attack.
And I think they had a couple chances. Don't get me wrong. They had a couple good chances. But Saliba dealt with Ollie Watkins. Okay. My problem is Zinchenko. Zinchenko, for me, can't defend. He is not your typical left back where I can rely on him defensively. Yep. I personally think once Yurian Timber's back from injury, that's the end of Zinchenko in this team because Yurian Timber's proven to show that he can overlap, he can come inside, he can be able to play that midfield role. He's able to do the lot.
So do you reckon he can make that sort of box with Rice, Partey, Odegaard and Timber? You reckon he can come in there and make a midfield four?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Interesting, because I think Zinchenko for me, he's besides John Stones, I don't see a better one in the league, I'll be honest. In coming inside and joining the midfield because and actually connecting.
He's not a natural defender.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a cam.
So are you willing to sacrifice a bit defensively to build up play? Because I don't think if Timber comes in, he's amazing. We saw him pre-season. It's unfortunate what happened. But I don't think you're going to get as much attacking output on the left if Timber comes back.
Okay. My honest opinion on that is I don't think Zinchenko does enough defensively to be able to make up for that going forward. Okay. Unless you're playing, your bottom sides that will park 10 players in the box, you're gonna need him on the field 110%. But when we're playing teams that are taking us on shot for shot, it's gonna cost us. And I'm not saying you can't not play him because there's games where we've had to bring him on and he's made the difference. But at the end of the day, when you get to Leon Bailey's and you get to your Dokus, for example.
Yeah.
Can you imagine we played Man City? It's honestly different.
Bailey looked good because of Zinchenko.
Because he's gone wandering up the field.
I saw him in Rosetta last time.
But what do you mean? He was in the next field at indoor yesterday.
But no, honestly, Bailey was cooking. Yeah. He had a couple of chances. He should have converted one, I think. He should have converted at least one. But Bailey looked good. I don't think that was because of Mikel's tactical setup, I'll be honest. I think that was purely because of personnel.
Yeah.
Before we spend the whole podcast on Arsenal, I think we need to move into the referee decisions because I think Arsenal were robbed, I'll be honest. And I don't think there's a script per se, as we were having a chat off air. But if you want to roll me through the Havertz penalty shout and the Saka offside, because I know they're the ones you're quite angered about, and I'll have a word about the Douglas Luiz physical assault. So have a chat to me about the penalty first.
So I'm going to ask you the questions here.
Talk to me.
Okay. So what happened first?
So how I saw it, Havertz received the ball, flicked up off him,
Who did he hit?
Matty Cash on the arm. Thank you very much.
And let's just forget everything else after that didn't happen. What does that mean?
It's penalty.
It's penalty.
Because in the laws of the game, correct me if I'm wrong, even though if there's a foul committed after, the person that committed the first foul or the team, it goes against that team.
Correct. And I agree with the fact that if I handball the ball and that leads to me scoring a goal, it's a no goal.
Correct. I agree.
But if the opponent's handballed the ball and then it's handballed me, it's a penalty because it's come off him first.
Because the advantage wasn't played.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't understand is I saw an angle. I don't know how legit this is, but it did look like Nketiah also got a foot to the ball.
Is that on a dodgy stream on the internet, or I haven't seen that one?
Twitter came in clutch there, right? But look, I'm going to leave that one out because I think that there's enough there from the actual footage to show that.
Definitely, you've got a shout on the Havertz where it should have been a penalty for you guys first because of Matty Cash's foul. Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
The Nketiah one, I'm not sure about. I haven't seen it personally. I don't know what stream you're watching, but definitely the Matty Cash one, I agree with.
Yeah.
If you want to roll with me for a second, where I think I saw a physical assault. Diego Carlos absolutely assaulted. Was it Gabby?
It was Nketiah.
Yeah, it was Nketiah. Yeah. He absolutely assaulted Nketiah.
Now, it
was a full shove, push, punch. I don't care what it was.
I've seen it in the WWE before, mate. It's called a backhand wherever you turn around and you start there and you end up that way. You know, if I was to do that to you right now, they'd be dragging me out with the police over here.
Podcast done.
Podcast done. We're done. You know, episode 2 would be done.
Podcast ended.
But it's it's against Arsenal, so it's so okay when it's against Arsenal.
Don't bring the script line into it for me.
No. Our coach was in the stands. They still haven't charged him for the Newcastle game.
Wow.
So this was for him running on the field celebrating a 97th minute winner against Luton Town.
And they want the passion to be gone.
Yeah. But when Pep ran and celebrated the winner against Luton Town this week, it's fine.
Or Klopp against Alisson 2 years ago.
Yeah. But no, that's completely fine. But, when it's Mikel Arteta, let's just throw the rule book out the window. Oh, come on. Yeah, but look, we've got the Jesus penalty as well.
Yeah.
Like, I blame ourselves for that performance because we've done more than enough to win that game, or we should have finished. But when you combine that with chances that we have been taken away from. Yeah.
Regardless, though, I think you guys had enough aside referee decisions to still win the game.
Look, I agree. Just letting you know that before we move on to the next game.
Talk to me.
That Jesus penalty shout, exact same one happening against Liverpool last season at the Emirates. Yes, you remember, right?
I remember.
Exact same one.
Yeah.
And it got given. Consistency.
The script against Arsenal.
Mind you, another one I don't think I saw on TV. They didn't talk about it, the commentators either. That Saka offside being checked. I don't think that got checked.
For me, I think we could do 3-4 podcasts on VAR. I don't.
Yeah.
Either there's one rule, there's a blanket rule.
Yeah.
And the inconsistencies for what's to be checked, what's not to be checked, what we don't hear, what we hear, I will never understand. Personally, I will never understand. I don't care if they explain it to me in a crystal clear dummies book. I will never understand it. I don't understand the inconsistency.
Me neither.
It's a shame because it ruined an overall Arsenal from the 10th minute. It ruined a good performance.
Look, we've lost 2 games this season and both we've come out with VAR controversies. So look, we'll hopefully we'll come back on this topic later.
Onto a team that didn't need VAR. Bournemouth versus United.
I hate to say I'm right, but I'm right.
Oh, nah. What's the score?
Mate, don't worry. They play Liverpool this week. We've got Eric Sevenhag as well coming up.
Is that 8 or 7? What are you feeling?
Let's hope they score 8-0. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice 8-0. Look, even though it'll keep them top of the league, I like seeing United crumble.
Me too.
I just do. It brings me joy.
Well, Bournemouth, mate, they're undefeated in full, and they're on top of the form table with 13 out of 15 points available.
Yeah.
And it's their first win in Old Trafford, I believe.
Ever.
That's amazing.
I think since like 1912 or something, I saw a stat. It's crazy, man.
The Cherries, mate.
Cherries, mate. Philip Billing. Wow.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Solanke ever had it in him at Liverpool. I don't understand. Personally, for me, I think he's a championship player. However, if there's a time to show up...
It's Old Trafford.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Brother, everyone has it in them when they're playing United. Trust me. Right, me and you go and play United tomorrow. Real Madrid are coming after us.
No.
Real Madrid are coming after us.
Let's not be that.
No, I'm joking. That was a bit too much there. But look, I think that Bournemouth showed up.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, that could have been 4. And they had a goal disallowed at the end of the game as well.
It was comical. The United's defending was comical. I think Maguire saw his award and went, okay, thank God, I'm happy. And now I'm going to go back to my old self.
Oh, forget him. His manager got manager of the month.
The only one that was rightfully given was Garnaccio's goal, which I agree. Yeah. I've tried that 100 times since. I've actually been in hospital 3 times since for a broken leg. But I will. It was poor, and it reflects their up and down season, to be honest.
It comes back to what we talked about last week. In all honesty, I think their biggest problem right now is attitude. I don't like the attitude of a lot of their players. I think a lot of their players, specifically, we go back to Bruno last week. I think he's one. I think Onana's another one.
Oh, and if you saw it for the first goal, I don't know if you saw, but they considered the first goal. I think Maguire or Dallo stuffed up a pass. Yeah. And they gave it to him to score. Onana punched the ground 3 or 4 times and started shouting at his defence.
Yeah.
Even though you are not a captain, you are 27 years old. You cannot do that when all the lights are on you for already your shambolic keeping this year.
Look, he's had the most clean sheets.
Yes, but it's...
But you can't have the most clean sheets and concede 6 goals the next game. Correct. That just makes no sense because it cancels each other out. But does it not?
I agree.
Like, it's inconsistency.
Yeah, I know.
And that just defines this team.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Look at Casemiro. Oh, we had the shouts, he's better than Rodri, better than this, better than that last season.
Not a chance.
Where is he now?
I think Modric and Kroos made him look good at United, at Real Madrid, but also behind him, they had Varane and they had Ramos for 4 or 5 years.
Don't make that comment because it'll get me started on Xavi, Iniesta, Messi. So
Modric is better. Modric is better than all of them.
Modric is better than everyone, bro.
Modric, I'm talking about.
Modric?
Yeah. He's better than all of them.
Nah, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, but yeah, we move on. I'm joking.
First of all, I'd like to apologise to myself 7 days ago where I said that Bruno was top 3 cams in the league. Before you comment, I would really like to retract that statement because what I saw, exactly what you were saying before, was he started putting on the act, he started punching the ground, he started whining, sulking, complaining, and that affected his performance.
Affected the team.
And that affected the team, and that affected my mental health.
Yeah. Do you want the sad part?
Talk to me.
The one player that doesn't complain? It's Harry Maguire.
Yeah. And to be honest, I was happy for him when he won Player of the Month, but he gets a lot of shit. He gets a lot of shit. And I don't blame him at all for what happened on Saturday, but obviously because he started the game and he's going to cop those headlines.
Yeah, look, he is. And sadly, it's just... for me, it's similar to Xhaka. Yeah. You got players like Xhaka. You got... it's just... They tried their best.
Yep.
Calvin Phillips is going to become another one soon, I reckon. Honestly, I think that they're so far down in terms of confidence and the amount of, just shit they cop. Yes. It's ridiculous. It's not...
Honestly, I think fans have believed that Calvin Phillips has gone missing. Generally, I think I haven't heard Calvin Phillips in discussion for so long. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. I haven't. The only thing I remember was we forgot to get onto Chelsea's. But the United owners for me are the worst problem in the club. Ten Hag for me is not the coach that people make him out to be, in my opinion. And United don't have the personnel.
Yeah.
Because they've spent poorly in the transfer window. But it's sad. It's sad to see a former great club, and it's sad for the league. I'll be honest, because without a good United. I'll put it to you this way. If United were cooking this year and if they were in the top 4 race, would you be more excited? United, Arsenal. United, Liverpool.
Yeah, look, that's the nostalgia part of it. I 100% agree.
We grew up on that, Abdul.
But
we grew up with United succeeding.
But Tom, you need to understand as well, their time was coming.
Are you saying that from an Arsenal perspective?
What they done to other clubs in terms of the market and games and things they got away with back in the day. Their time was coming. And
Fergie time.
Even after Fergie, it was going to catch up on them.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's a poorly run club at the end of the day.
It is.
Okay, like for me, and I mentioned, I'm pretty sure last week, once you got a manager of 20 years leaving, do not continue on his legacy.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
You wipe the club clean, you bring in the new next philosophy. And if they're that good of a manager to be there for 20 years.
Where they should have wiped the club clean as well is the whole department. Everyone should have went.
Top to bottom.
Everyone should have went.
I'm talking 2013.
Absolutely. 100%. The worst thing that Sir Alex Ferguson did was nothing on the field. It was, my recommendation was David Moyes. But I feel sorry for the bloke. Because they did not clear the whole staff out with him. No. David Moyes came in. He didn't bring anyone he wanted.
Yeah.
And he literally had the staff to Sir Alex Ferguson.
No, 100%. It's not gonna work. I agree with you. And I think it's a similar thing to Unai Emery. Similar thing. And I'm only comparing it to Arsenal because of the tenure of the two managers.
I agree.
Emery was the right manager at the wrong time. In all honesty.
We said that last week.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. Moving on to
another team that spends a lot of money and can't succeed. Club.
Yeah. My good friend and my good club, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Cole Palmer is not dynamite at the moment. However, he is my favourite player at the club. Everton, I'll tell you what, undefeated in 3 and a second on the informed table with 12 out of 15 points available. They're a really inspired team since that point deduction, Abdul, I'll be honest.
I'll raise you a question.
Talk to me.
Had that points deduction not come and had that points deduction not been, in the pipeline for them, are they where they are right now?
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. No. I think Sean Dyche has got something against the players, or he's got something.
He's threatening them with something.
Listen, I think we won't discuss that on air, but I do think that Everton are playing really, really good, mate. The bloke from Mali, Doucouré, mate, I'll tell you what, he wasn't doing this at Watford. He wasn't doing this at Rennes back in France when he played there. Mate, he's on fire. He's their top goal scorer. He's outscoring Calvert-Lewin. But
forget Everton, he's outscoring all your attackers as well.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Ooh, I am for real.
But it's poor. It's poor from our club. But before we get to Chelsea, I would like to seriously commend Everton. They didn't have as much of the ball as we did. And what's the point of having 700 plus passes if you're not going to do anything with it? It was side to side to side to side. Diasse, Badashile. I think Diasse hasn't touched the ball more this year besides the game. It was side to side. It was square balls all day. It was bounce passes. Nothing else.
Look, I think that Poch, I don't know, man. Look, my thing is you can't keep that same 11 on the field. You can't.
No.
You can't. No. And that's half your problem is because you got Reece James getting injured left, right and centre, comes on for 26 minutes. And honestly, like, all jokes aside, I don't wish injuries upon anyone.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw a meme on Twitter of a lamb chop falling off the bone. And they said this is Reece James's knee every time he goes on the field. They could not be more right.
I don't blame you.
It's sad. He is a top, like in all seriousness, top player. Very, very good.
For me,
top player
on his day.
Best right back
in the world. In the league. Tell me who's a better right back in the world.
In the league.
Tell me who's a better right back in the world.
In the world.
Tell me.
In the world.
Tell me.
Your honest opinion?
Absolutely.
My honest opinion.
What? Tomiyasu. Tell me go.
Right back.
Yeah.
Jack Cancelo.
Mate, he starts at left back.
Kyle Walker.
Not better than James.
Actually, not anymore. Actually, not anymore. I did say in the league. Look.
So you're going to give me that? Thanks, I appreciate that.
Kimmich.
He plays CDM for Bayern, mate.
Kimmich.
He plays CDM for Bayern.
Di Lorenzo.
No. Reece James is the best right back in the world.
Lucy Bronze.
On FIFA? Maybe. On FIFA, maybe. But what surprises me with Chelsea is that this year we scored 26 goals. But we have an expected goal ratio of 30.7 per game.
How many penalties have we scored?
That's the thing. We've only scored 15 goals from open play. It's concerning. It is really concerning. If Cole Palmer doesn't turn him inside out and shoot, we have nothing. If Sterling doesn't beat 1 or 2 and cut it back, we have nothing.
Yeah.
It's so poor. And Jackson and Broya were really poor again. Really poor.
Yeah, but
it surprises me. It's sad.
Well, like I said, for me, it goes back to not having a consistent 11, in all honesty.
I agree.
But at the same time, I don't think you've got the right group of players together.
Do you want to know what made me laugh? I'll tell you. Poch, in his match interview, he goes, "We need to talk and try to improve in the next transfer window." Are you taking the piss? Are you joking? He wants more transfers.
Yeah,
he wants more.
I will give you a stat of how many transfers he's had in the last 3 windows. Chelsea have had 25 players have been brought in for an astonishing amount. This is in Great British pounds, by the way. 932.3 million. 3 windows.
I feel physically sick.
Physically sick. That could solve so many of the world's problems, but we're spending it on Modric and Nicholas Jackson.
Click of the finger. There's world hunger, poverty, gone. Doesn't exist.
Mate.
But instead, we are saving Nicholas Jackson's subscription to Astro Wets OnlyFans. It's a bit sad, to be honest.
It's honestly ridiculous.
It is. It's sad. It is. However, Abdul, I would like to take you to Chelsea's transfers in the last 2 to 3 years alongside Manchester United's.
All right. Do you want to...
Am I going to run through them?
You run through Chelsea, I'll run through United, okay?
All right. Enzo Fernandez, 22 years old, had a brilliant World Cup. 121 million.
Euros.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
One World Cup. One with 6 games.
And 1 good season with Benfica. That was it.
Tom. No one knew who he was before the World Cup.
Brother, I didn't notice him until we played Poland. I'll be honest.
Because the first game was a different midfield.
Saudi Arabia, mate.
Saudi Arabia was a whole different midfield.
Didn't expect him.
And they lost. He came on and he saved grace. Messi was winning the World Cup anyway.
Are you ready for the next one?
Hit me.
Moises Caicedo, 116 million.
We dodged the bullet.
That is the E-Tech Kante. The E-Tech, possibly F-Tech.
Get Kante out of your mouth, please.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, please. Don't disrespect him like that.
He's my boy.
Bambi on ice, mate. Bambi on flipping ice. Honest to God. Brighton have robbed you of about $400 million.
You're not wrong.
Well, we'll get further down that list.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Wesley Fofana. I think brothers played 6 games for the club. I think brothers played 6 games for the club. I think he started more games for France than he has for us.
Possibly. Great player. How many ACLs has he done since he signed you guys?
I think he's done 3 and he's only got 2.
Mate, look, we don't wish any energy.
I agree.
Injury upon anyone, but it's been ridiculous. You've missed someone, actually.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Big Rom.
I prefer not to speak with Big Rom.
Oh, because you sold him and then you bought him and then you sold him again for 10 million.
De Bruyne and Salah speak for themselves.
Yeah, but like my argument to you every time, name a player in the last 5 years that has gone to Chelsea and improved. You would have ruined De Bruyne and Salah had they stayed there. We wouldn't have the two of the greatest players in the world at the moment had they stayed at Chelsea.
Two of the players that arguably have a case to fit in the all-time Prem 11.
I agree.
Two of the players that have an arguable case to fit in there.
I think they would be in there.
Depends where you will play. Depends where you play Salah.
Who you play? Salah's on the right wing. Over who?
Beckham.
Get out of here, man. I love Becks, but he's not over. No way.
For nostalgia, for icon of English Premier League. Barclays Premier League.
Egyptian, African icon. Has scored at least 20 or 25 goals every season.
Comments, let us know.
Honestly.
Beckham or Salah right wing to start?
You can't go wrong with that.
All right, next one.
Wait, hold on. Someone disagrees. Oh my God!
Oh, we're hearing Beckham in the we're hearing Beckham in the background.
Don't bring Victoria Beckham into this posh spice.
Listen, my boy that has potential, I still think, and I've had a discussion with my friends. Mykhailo Mudryk, is he worth the certain amount of millions of $70 million? I don't think for about 12 games for Shakhtar. However, you guys are interested in him. He must have had something. Maybe you pulled our tails and got 50 million extra from what he's worth. But I do think he has potential, and hopefully I do think he comes good. Because for me, he's a starter on the left.
It still hurts me.
They didn't sign him.
No, we didn't sign him.
I appreciate that.
I love Trossard.
Is that because of the thought of what Mikel could have done with him? Okay, fair enough.
He could have been, you take off Martinelli at the 60th, 70th minute, you bring on Mudryk. Imagine that. Under Mikel's teachings. Wow. And now look at him now. He's fluking goals against Arsenal. That's all he scored.
Great goal, by the way.
Mate, he scored more goals for the Ukraine and less games than he has for Chelsea. Make it make sense, mate.
True. Are you ready for the 2 next ones that haven't played a minute for Chelsea, which is, again, great business by Chelsea? Romeo Lavia and Christopher Nkuku. A total combined of $121 million. I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever earned that in my life. Hopefully the podcast makes a bit more.
Mate, a bit more than that, you reckon? We'll sign Lavia ourselves then. That's fine.
Mate, we're going to make a special guest appearance. I think he'll have actually a bigger impact than he has at Chelsea.
Yeah, he would have. Ridiculous.
However, it's a bit silly to sign a 19-year-old kid for $60 million. Stupid business. And we've already had four good players in that position. Enzo can play there. I don't think he's as effective there. You got Costa that can play there.
Yeah.
You got Gallagher.
Yeah.
And then you add in Lavia as a bit of salt and pepper on top. Come on.
Yeah, but there's also Chelsea's problem. You've got too many players that can play there. You need a player that needs to play there. Lavia, look, I like Lavia as a player. You know, he came from that City academy. He moved on to Southampton. And he did have a good season last season, despite Southampton going down.
He was their shining light, to be honest.
He was
their shining light.
62 million.
Mate, Southampton was laughing all the way to the bank.
Answer my question. Why did you sign him?
So when he's 26, we can sell him for $80 million.
No, because Liverpool wanted him.
So you think Todd Bowley's cheap enough to piss off Liverpool?
Todd Bowley signed half of the league's transfer list. Mudryk
to do what? To sit on the bench.
Who did Mudryk want to sign for?
Arsenal.
Who did he sign for? Chelsea.
Because he saw blue and went, blue's the colour.
Forget blue.
Football is the game.
They offered 100 million, and I'm pretty sure 25 million of that went to a political reason.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm correct. Mark Cucurella, where do you want to go? Manchester City.
Barcelona.
No.
Manchester City.
He wanted him so bad.
Listen, before I feel physically sick about Chelsea's transfers, can we move on to Man U so you can make me smile a bit?
You know what? Is there anyone we've blatantly missed out of there?
In Chelsea, let's have a look.
There is one.
Talk to me.
Number 5.
King Kai.
Prime example of why you don't go to Chelsea. He was electrifying. And I could name 80% of that list was electrifying before they came.
For me, outside that year, he was the best player out of any Bayern Munich player. He was the best player.
Leverkusen.
Yeah. No, he was the best player in the league besides any Bayern player.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
For me. Even though Sancho was there at the time.
Yeah.
For me, he was the best player.
He lit it up. He honestly, and if you go back and watch Kai Havertz in Leverkusen.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a whole different player.
Cold.
It's a whole different player. They just kill confidence at Chelsea. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is.
It's expectation. It's expectation for that money. I'm not saying for the club, for the money.
Yeah, but you're falling down the same hole United are. This isn't John Terry and Gary Cahill. This isn't Drogba and Hazard. This isn't Lampard anymore.
No.
You guys need to get over it and move on. This is a new era.
We're not the same team.
You know, you can't aim for first place every year. And look, you may have won a Champions League a few years ago. You may have won the league 7 years ago. But that's not the same team. Still, Kante's gone. You know?
I think, or even
Aspi's there. You've lost your core. You need to rebuild. Yeah. And my thing with Chelsea.
But you don't rebuild with 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. You don't.
And I say that all the time. You're trying to develop too many players at once.
I agree.
And it's killing you guys slowly without noticing because you're going to have chances. Like you said, 15 goals and 30 XG.
Yeah. Shocking.
It's shocking. And who's going to lift these guys up? Thiago Silva, he can barely lift himself up.
Talking about players who have squandered opportunities, whether it's on the field or off the field. My good friend Anthony from Man U. I'll tell you what, there is no way in the world he's worth 95 million. There is no way.
Yeah.
Edwin van der Sar has spent that at Amsterdam Red Light District. There is no way my brother is worth $95 million. There's no way, brother.
That is called Man United turning into a transfer window dummy.
Yeah.
That is called, you want him, I want 100 million.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving me 100 million, I want 105.
Yeah.
And I'll pay the 105.
No, of course they are.
Okay? Like, you can't go into the market blatantly expressing your love for this player before they've even signed for you.
So obvious.
It's so obvious. They get baited. And like, you can't blame the Glazers in terms of spending money. They spend money.
But wouldn't you learn after the first and second time?
No.
Sancho?
No, not when you Man United. Not when you Man United.
But Pogba. Let me pose you a question quick. I know we're going to be on a sidetrack, but poor Pogba. Besides those 2 years at Juventus, was he a good player? I'm generally asking you a question.
He's a luxury player.
He's a player that had potential. But
yes.
I don't care who you are as a player. If the coach tells you to play as a double pivot with Matic, in Mourinho's case,
You play as a double pivot.
he plays a double pivot. You don't argue.
If he tells you go play water boy, you play water
You
boy.
don't care.
No,
Peel the oranges, you go there.
that's it.
There is no way that Pogba anywhere gets on table 1 in the all-time greatest.
No,
Not
way.
a chance. My friends are delusional. I'll tell you right now. My friends, look down the camera.
Call him out.
I won't call about episode 2. There is not a chance. There is not a chance that Paul Pogba is table 1 anywhere amongst the greatest midfielders of all time. Not a chance. Not a chance. For 120 million, spent 5 years at Man U, the second stint. Not a chance. He had 2 good years of at Juventus where he made the World 11 as a teenager. Won the Golden Boy. What's nothing else? He was a good player at the World Cup, correct? Any other thing in the comments you're going to chuck at me? Not a chance.
And now he's got caught taking testosterone. So, let's recap actually. They sold him for 5 million and then bought him back for 105.
Great business by him.
Great business. It's getting ridiculous actually.
Second one that I raised, Rasmus Højlund. 6 goals in Atalanta, something like that. 70 million. Potential, yes. Any goals in the Prem yet, my friend?
No. He's got in the Champions League, fair credit. But
he's up there in the Champions League. I'll give him.
Tom, you can't.
However, they won't qualify for the knockout stages.
If they do, I will rock up next week with a Manchester United shirt on.
Where's my camera? If Manchester United qualify for the knockout stages, not the Europa League, which you most probably will, the knockout stages, I will do a 5-minute public apology at the start of the podcast. There you have my word, not a problem. Abdul, agree?
I agree.
5-minute apology, singing your praises.
But I'd like the comments to apologise to me next week when they do beat you 5-1 inevitably. So, Højlund.
Yeah, Højlund.
Honestly, great player. But you can't be signing 19, 20-year-olds for 75 million, expecting them. And I'm not talking you're signing Mbappe from Monaco. You're not signing Haaland from Dortmund.
No chance.
You're signing Højlund from Atalanta.
You're signing potential.
You need an experienced striker. And I'm not talking Anthony Martial. The only thing is experienced that is being in that medic group. He knows the left, right, and centre because all he does is stare at the roof of that window on the medic bed.
Do you want to know what the best thing has Chelsea done this year? The best thing? Selling Mason Mount
To Manchester United.
How many games has the brother played?
Oh, he hasn't played much.
And he's got the number 7 shirt.
Yeah.
Come on.
Number 7.
Number 7. Listen, I don't feel sorry for Mount. The expectation of that jersey, come on, mate. Come on.
In all honesty, look.
Number 7.
That club is in the mud.
It is.
And look, I'm just going to run through a few names quickly.
Yeah.
You got Harry Maguire, 87 million. This is euros, by the way. 87 million for Harry Maguire. Sancho, 85 million. Lukaku went for 85 million. That bloke's been sold for about 300 million all up.
That brother has the best agent in world football. That brother has the best, besides Zlatan agent, he has the best agent in world football. Not a chance.
He's making fees. He's making bread. They are eating well.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually got a house next to Bella Vista podcast when we were doing the podcast. I wouldn't.
He's listening. He wants his royalties.
Lukaku, I'm sorry. I apologise. We'll give you your loyalties, mate. My apologies.
Look, number 9 on this list.
Talk to me.
I'm going to talk right down the camera.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
I'm sorry. I apologise. Carry on.
Bruno Fernandes, 65 million pounds. Look, he only cost 0.8 million less than more than Mason Mount.
Shit.
0.8.
Shit.
But this is the problem with United. You're buying hype. You're buying players with egos. Just because they can sell shirts doesn't mean they're going to be successful there.
Right.
And in all honesty, it's just 60 million on Fred. On Fred. 1 year at Shakhtar in that Champions League. I remember the year. You bought Fred for 6. You had the choice of...
Decent player.
Do you remember the team?
Yeah, I remember the team.
They bought Fred.
It's poor. It is poor. It's disgusting. But Abdul, before we go on a full podcast of a Man U rant, which one day we will, don't you worry, I would like to take you to what I think is the fairy tale story this year. The absolute Leicester of 2023. Girona versus Barcelona. What's happened?
Anyone that beats Barca?
Anyone that beats Barca, we're going to feature on the podcast. Because if you look to my top right, we've got Bellingham. If you look to my top, we got Hala Madrid, the best club in Spain.
Yeah, don't forget. Big Emil.
Big Emil Smith Rowe. Listen, I'll tell you what. Barcelona. they are shocking defensively at the moment. I saw a stat. They conceded 20 goals last year. 20 goals.
The Stegen had like 25.
It was the best keeper in the league.
Oh, well, by a mile.
And this year, they've already conceded 18 goals in 16 games.
Yeah.
They are 2 less of their tally from last year in the total of 36 games. That's disgusting. Koundé's playing right back. Cancelo's on the other side. Christensen should not be starting for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Araujo's the only one which I can think, but even this year has been poor.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand why I think Xavi's doing a pep. I think he's manoeuvring these players for some absurd reason.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're 2 Spanish coaches. Maybe they just overthink. Maybe that's their nature.
Look, do you want my honest opinion on this whole situation? I think Xavi's not the problem. Personally, just watching that game, a lot of their players play with arrogance, and it's not a good arrogance. It's a sense of entitlement. It's a sense of, like, you might be a better player than the person you're playing against. Right. But certainly that 11's stronger than Girona's 11.
I agree.
Okay.
Mate, but come on. Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Araujo.
Brother.
Pedro.
Cancelo. He had Ilkay Gundogan for a cutback. Open shot. He looked at the keeper and said, I'm going to beat you. And he had 3 defenders to his left and him right there.
Mate, they had 31 shots that game. Compared to Girona's, what was it?
14. 7 on target,
4
and
goals.
they scored 4. Why? Because every time they took a chance on goal, they're like, how can we make this the easiest to score for us? And they took him.
I'll tell you something. I coach for a living. I always tell my team before we go out, in terms of an execution standpoint in how to win the game, you have to sacrifice a good shot for a great shot. And that was a prime example. Yeah. Cancelo did have a good shot, let's be honest. Yeah. And as an ego, I think he took it. However, you open your eye, you do a scan, you see Gundogan on your right, you cut it back to him. You don't
even need to open your eyes, open your ears. Surely he's screaming for the ball. He's open.
Joao.
Pass the ball. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know.
And
absolutely.
This is why I cannot stand Barcelona. It's that
the
arrogance.
And in the last 4 years, they haven't got anything for their arrogance to be justified.
No.
If you're talking 10, 11, 9, 10, absolutely. If you're talking 14, 15, 15, 16, absolutely.
After that, it's just been...
Finished.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they've got that arrogance. I don't understand.
But it's like I've said, it's inbuilt in them. It's entitlement. I wouldn't even call it, it's entitlement. You're Barcelona. It's the same problem you guys have as in Chelsea, and it's the same problem United have. Yeah. You've had success for so long, and when you don't have it anymore, you don't know what to do.
Correct.
They've somewhat regained their identity under Xavi. I can't take that away from them. They won the league last year. But when you get to a point where you're playing games against Girona, no disrespect to them, you have an 11 that should absolutely batter them.
Joao Cancelo in transfer fees out-earns at least all of their players and double. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want another fun fact, Abdul? The population of Girona can fit into the newly renovated Barcelona stadium.
That's ridiculous.
And you know what? Good on them. I think we need to move away from Barcelona and sing our praises to Girona. I'll tell you what, last year they got promoted into La Liga from La Liga 2. That season they finished 10th. Now they're on top of the table. 16 games played by 2 points. Yeah. They've only lost once, and they've lost to Real Madrid this year, thanks to Belly goal. Now, they are playing some beautiful football. I'll tell you another fun fact which you might not know. They have scored 33 goals from open play this year, the most out of any team. Yeah. And you know what? They're doing it beautifully. That second goal against Barca. Oh. I'll tell you what, and it's ironic, it was Barca-esque. It was Barca-esque.
It was a slap in the face.
It was incredible. Yeah. 3-4. And you know what? I was watching the game. From a tactic point and from a tactical breakdown, Barcelona, every single time were panicking and they were going long.
Yes.
Girona broke their mid-third.
Right down.
Played into the attacking line. They were playing football. They were breaking the field into 3 from the defensive line. Yeah. They went into the midfield. From the midfield line, they found the channel ball into their attackers. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. Do you want to know the sad thing is that it's a 39-year-old striker up front.
He came on and he's changed his role from a starter to a sub.
Came on.
Stuani, I'll tell you what, I've packed that guy a lot in FIFA this past years. He's done my head in. However, I'm so glad he scored against Barca. But it's amazing. It is amazing that Stuani and Daley Blind, Eric Garcia, who played for Barca and played shockingly for Barca. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't know the coach, but we've got to sing his plaudits. He's incredible. And even watching Girona, he brought a smile to my face. Do you know why? Because they were playing football with a smile. So long we've become, especially these last 5 or 6 years, we've become accustomed to footballers being robots. We've lost that Ronaldinho. We've lost that early Neymar at Santos, early Neymar at Barca. And I'm not saying these guys are going to go anywhere near that level, but they were playing with a smile, Abdul. They were playing with a swagger, and they wanted to be there. They enjoyed it. And I'm not saying, of course, you're going to enjoy football when you're winning, but they were enjoying their football. They were playing with a smile. They were playing with a confidence, and they were oozing the love of football.
I think as well, like you've hit it on the head there.
Talk to me.
Like as a child, you play football, any sport. Forget football, any sport. You play it because you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
All right. You know, once you step into that business aspect of football, it becomes money making. It becomes, you know, you don't win this game. You know, you don't make this much. You don't make that. And you look at it from a bigger project perspective. It really can get ugly in terms of enjoyment and in terms of, look at people like Sancho. Like, I'm like taking it back down to an individual point of view. You fall out of love with your career. You start to lose that enjoyment. And honestly, you know, it could just be any career. If you fall out of love with your job, it's depressing having to go, you know, to work 4 or 5 days a week, and it's kind of like you're not enjoying it. And you got to look at it from a footballer's perspective. Like you're seeing them with a smile on their face. It's like honestly, like I joke about it, but watching a player that had no confidence and no enjoyment come to my club, enjoy his football and play with a smile on his face, celebrate, fight for the badge. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
It is. And to reiterate your point, you're looking at players especially retiring early these days.
Yeah.
I don't know the stat, I'll be honest, but I think it's more than what it was. And 100%. It's because of this pressure. It's because of this fans. It's because of the money aspect as well.
Social media.
Oh, it's disgusting. The abuse that the players get. I'm not saying, listen, we could delve into a full side topic and mental health of football, which is important. But what I was trying to reiterate was that they were playing beautiful football with a smile. And it honestly brought a smile to my face. And you know what? I love Real Madrid. I do. Yeah. And I love Modric. And for me, he made me love Real Madrid more than Ronaldo. But honestly, I'm rooting for Girona. That they have my support, and I generally hope that they do go all the way. And I think they can.
It'll be a good story for football.
It will.
It's a little town.
It will.
Like you said, they can fit in the Camp Nou. Like, imagine what that does for a city.
But just think about that for a moment. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
How crazy. Like, I know the population of Leicester's bigger.
Yeah.
But that's incredible.
I know.
It is just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
Look, I hope they do it.
I do.
Anyone that beats Barca makes me a happy man. So,
do you think they can, though, against Bellingham FC?
Bellingham.
He's killing it, man. He's got 14 matches, 12 goals, 2 assists. My question to you, Abdul.
Yeah.
Is there a better start to the season than we're seeing now with Bellingham that you can think of at the top of your head?
Yes.
Talk to me.
Erling Haaland last year.
Erling Haaland, good point. What I was going to raise to you was Suarez 12-13.
Oh, yeah. He outscored clubs. He was outscoring clubs.
The reason why I'm leaning with Bellingham, he's playing from midfield. Suarez and Haaland were strikers.
Yes.
And this man is doing it at the back end of the pitch, at the front of the pitch. I know stats speak a lot, but he's literally determining football games.
Tom, with all due respect, he's playing. You've seen how they set up. They set up with 2 wide players now.
Yep.
They set up with their midfield 3.
Yep.
And he basically goes from CDM to striker. He plays everywhere now.
He does.
If he's not scoring and he's involved that much on the ball, and that team is now centered around him, I don't know what he'd be doing. This is the thing. Yes. He has to be scoring. This is expected. This is the boy from Birmingham coming through, killing it at Dortmund, moving to Real Madrid, and he's a born leader. So obviously, naturally, we know what we expect. Yes, I didn't expect him to take off this much, but at the same time, tactically, how they've set the team up, how they've played him within the team, I didn't expect any less. I didn't it's.
We didn't expect 12 goals.
We didn't expect 12 goals, but I still expected this type of impact. This is Jude Bellingham. This is the kid that stood up at the World Cup. We're talking a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think it has gone under the radar a bit in terms of his success, because his name isn't Kylian Mbappe, his name isn't Erling Haaland. But this is the type of things we saw from Mbappe, which took him to that level that he's at now.
So do you think still that Haaland's year, possibly Suarez's, in terms of an impact on a league, an impact first 15 matches, we'll call it, do you think they were bigger than Bellingham's in terms of dictating football matches, in terms of determining the outcome.
I will give you the answer in the form of a question. Take Bellingham out of that team. What's the result?
For me, I think he's won 4 or 5 matches alone on his own.
Yes, but if I was to put Modric there, if I was to put
A 38-year-old Modric or a 20-year-old Modric?
I think Modric now, I still think he can do the job. He's still got legs. He's not obviously 20-year-old Modric, but he still is a lot better than most midfielders in that league.
I agree.
Okay, like if I forget these guys. Stick Rodrigo back at striker where Bellingham's playing. Probably won't win 4 to 5 games for them like he has, but I still think he get half of that. So it's
put it this way:
it's not unforeseen. I don't think it's that. Wow, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
we saw Haaland do twice as much as that within no time.
I don't think they'll be sitting second without Bellingham. I think Atletico will be above them, and I think Barca, they could be equal with Barca on points.
I agree with you.
That's what I think.
I agree with you.
And I think he won them that El Clasico. So I do think that Barca would be above Madrid. And I think 4th for Madrid is quite concerning.
Did he win them the El Clasico or did Modric win the El Clasico? Because Modric did play that ball.
He did, but he scored 2 goals. What's the most important job at the back? What's the most important job on a football field besides being a goalkeeper?
Scoring the goals.
That's it. Get that thing in the back of the net.
Look, I agree with you. I wouldn't go to the degree to say, oh, he's had a Suarez level or a Haaland level season. It's not there yet.
True, season hasn't finished. I'm talking the best start.
No, not for me. I'm sorry, not for me.
Fair enough.
I love him to bits.
Just to clarify that extra large jersey is not my size. I'm a medium. If anyone wants to send me any gifts or anything, I'm a medium.
We looked at it. How do we put Tom's jerseys up there? It'd be looking like miniature photos.
Yeah, absolutely. No point.
So I thought we'd bring in my XLs and 2XLs.
So on that note, top 4 La Liga. Run it for me.
Real Madrid.
You think they will pip Girona at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quality.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. Atletico Madrid.
Second.
Yeah. And Barcelona and then Girona. Girona's going to follow.
They're an annoying team to play against Atletico.
Yeah.
They just sit in there 2 blocks of 4.
Yeah.
They don't move. And they give it to Griezmann, who's getting up there in age, but he's having some recent performances.
Yeah.
As his man of the match card. Player
of the month
card on FIFA. Yeah.
Mate.
It's not bad.
Where do you think I learned my 4-4-2 from?
Has he got the finesse stroke?
Oh, he does, yes.
Cooking,
he does.
See, for me, I would go for the fairy tale, and I want this to be clipped. Girona first, just letting you know. Girona first, Madrid second. Because of what I was saying of Atletico, they are a shitty team to play against. Atletico third, Barca fourth. I think Barca's defensive frailties, plus they're missing Ter Stegen and Gavi, most likely until the midway Feb, March.
Yeah.
I know Gavi's out until the Euros. I do think Barca will finish 4th, which will be quite a dramatic fall from first.
Yeah. Look, I think, like bias aside, I just think there's too much quality in that Madrid squad. Like there's too much to look past.
And I do think Vinicius will pick up. I think Rodrigo will pick up.
Yeah.
And I think Alaba at the back is good enough.
Yeah.
Kepa is not a Courtois, sorry. But he'll get the job done.
Look, I love a good comeback story, honestly, and I still think Kepa to this day is a great keeper.
I do. I think it was massively highlighted in those pressure games that he had for Chelsea. However, showed up in the Europa League final against UEFA Super Cup against Sevilla. Villarreal, Valencia, someone.
Unai Emery,
Villarreal. Showed up against them, 3 penalty saves, top class penalty saves.
Yeah.
However, against Man City in the Carabao Cup, you should have done better with those.
Look, mate, it's what happens when you kill a player's confidence.
Here we go. Chelsea clubs.
No. Like in general, you kill a player's confidence. He's not going to play the same way it is.
I know.
That's why you always got to be a bit more supportive.
So my question to you, I know UEFA Champions League, the scenarios are there, the possible thing. We've got the match days in Australia as recording. We've got them tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah.
Real Madrid already through, confirmed. So Group D, E, and G are all confirmed. I'll run you through the possible lists now as we speak. So, Champions League. Let me get that for you. You're still sticking with you're still thinking with Real Madrid as the winners?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Abdul, Group A. Bayern clear, 13 points, definitely coming first. FC Copenhagen, Galatasaray on 5, Man U on 4. Man U versus Bayern. Thoughts?
5-1 Bayern Munich. Come back to this when Bayern Munich absolutely... let's keep it clean. When absolutely
PG.
batter the living hell out of your club. Like I said, I don't think that club is ready for Europe. It's not. So you're going to go to the Europe. They're going to go to the Europa League. What are they going to do?
So you're saying it now, Manchester United will not make the Europa League.
Manchester United will finish 4th in that group. Calling it now. And I hope Copenhagen and Galatasaray draw.
If they draw, or if one of them win, it's over.
It's over.
If one of them win, it's over.
No. I hope they draw and United get battered. Just so you realise that, we could have made it.
Do you know my dream scenario? Man U win, and if either Galatasaray or Copenhagen win, and they miss out by 1 point, that will make my day.
Oh, mate.
Group B, your club safely through as first. Don't say as expected.
As expected.
PSV Lens. Good thing. Lens play Sevilla and PSV play Arsenal. I do think the goal difference, wherever Lens have -6, PSV have -2. I do think regardless the result is between Arsenal and PSV, I do think PSV will qualify second. I think they've got enough.
Yeah. We battered all 3 teams. So,
if you were to pick one, Lens or PSV?
PSV. I agree.
Group C.
Yep.
Madrid, first place safely. Napoli, 7 points. Braga, 4 points. Yep. So Braga can still qualify. However, Napoli and Braga are versing each other.
Napoli. You can't go wrong with Napoli.
Even if there's Braga managed to scrape a win, they need 3 goals overturned. I don't think that will happen.
Braga won't do it. Like Napoli as well.
Yeah.
I need the Osman cut upgrade.
Group D. Already sorted. Real Sociedad and Inter safely through, and Salzburg safely to finish 3rd into the Europa League. Group E, already sorted again. Atletico first, as I was saying before, haven't lost. They've drawn twice though because they're just a shitty team to play against. You got to respect Simeone, and he's one of the most highest paid managers in the world for a reason. I don't like his craft, to be honest.
You're my honest opinion.
Talk to me.
I'm a Real Madrid fan. I love him.
Atletico.
I love it.
I love his little game management tactics.
I love a stubborn team. Even though I hate playing against them, as like watching us play.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the little niggly things. It's just I run a 4-4-2 in FIFA. My ultimate is a 4-4-2.
Facts.
I'm not joking. You can attest to that.
I can.
And it's just
King Kai plays striker, by the way. Just let you know.
Evolved King Kai.
Evo, mate. EA, where's the camera? EA, give us another evolution so we can evolve King Kai to a 90, please. Thank you.
I need 95 King Kai.
Group E, as we were saying, Atletico, Lazio safely through. Feyenoord safely through into the Europa League. Group F. Yeah. This is interesting. Our good friends, the Toonami, sitting in 3rd. Still, however, can make the Champions League place. Dortmund safely first. PSG 2nd with 7. Newcastle 3rd in the Europa League currently, and they are versing AC Milan on 5 points as well. My question to you, do you reckon Dortmund will do the Toonami a favour and win, and Newcastle have to get a job done at home against AC Milan? Firstly, do you think Dortmund can beat PSG? Or get a draw? No, sorry. Yes, get a draw.
Where are they playing?
Dortmund are playing at home.
Yeah.
You reckon they will get a job done?
Yeah.
Okay, so if Dortmund win, Newcastle versus stubborn AC Milan side.
I hope to God AC Milan beat them.
You don't like Newcastle?
I don't like Newcastle.
They're because of Gordon the prick?
Because of there's a lot. Yeah. Actually, no. Eddie Howe.
I don't mind Eddie Howe.
No.
Don't say it.
No, not when he comes to play us.
Is that because he did a job against Arsenal?
No, because he turns them into little it's not even stubborn football. It's just time wasting. Fouls and time wasting.
Hey, they get a result. You can't question.
Like Atletico, at least you're coming to this is a battle.
This is hell. This is
hell.
It's war.
Yeah. No, you got to play Newcastle. The ball's spent last season 41 minutes in play.
That's disgusting, eh? Not even a full half.
Let's put 10 players at the back and keep the ball out the field.
Lascelles masterclass, mate.
Oh my Lord, mate.
So Newcastle to finish 3rd or AC Milan to finish 3rd?
AC Milan.
AC Milan to finish third.
It's not at the tune, is it?
No.
No. AC
Milan. Sorry, it is to finish third. It is at the tune.
I'll go for a draw.
Group G, City first, unfortunately. PSG second, safely through.
Yeah.
And Young Boys, unless they lose a miracle against Crvena Zvezda from Serbia, they will come fourth.
So what's the highest Crvena Zvezda can finish?
Unless a dramatic result happens, they can finish third. However, they're versus Man City.
Ooh. And Man City are confirmed first.
So Rico Lewis starts.
Sergio Gomez starts.
Phil Foden gets minutes.
Phil Foden gets minutes. Jack
Kovacic gets minutes.
Kovacic gets minutes. Calvin Phillips gets minutes.
Nunes
might get minutes. You might find Edison playing at centre back.
Wouldn't surprise me, mate.
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works.
Here we go.
Crvena Zvezda to win.
Come in third, of course.
There we go. They come in third.
Amazing. Group H, our good friends Barcelona have just done enough.
Yeah.
Now, what is interesting is that any one of these teams besides Shakhtar, if they score 7 goals, can come first in the group. Barcelona almost safely through on 12. They will finish either first or second. Porto and Shakhtar verse each other for a place in the Champions League playoffs. However, it's at Porto's home. They're equal on 9 points. Loser goes to the Europa League. That's my matchup of the week, to be honest. That's going to be all out attacking football. I love it.
Give me Shakhtar.
Give you Shakhtar.
Give me Shakhtar.
Big Fred.
Give me Shakhtar.
Big Fred is going to pull out his Shakhtar Donetsk days. 15-16. Who's he play for? Fenerbahce now?
I think so. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. He's in Turkey.
He's going to get his Shakhtar form.
He's gonna bring it back. No, I think just looking at the group stage, they've just been a bit more. I'm just gonna say noticeable. Like I think I could remember more Shakhtar performances and highlights that I've seen.
Porto played really well against Barca last week. They played really well.
They
really
did.
Well. They just lost 2-1.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Shakhtar actually won
against Barca.
I
can check that for you. Did Shakhtar beat?
I think it was 1-0 if I'm correct.
Check. Abdul.
That's correct.
You're a very good man.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I've just seen more from Shakhtar than I have Barca, so we'll take that.
I think Porto's attractive football.
Yeah.
I think Shakhtar, the Turks, mate, they know how to close out a game.
Shakhtar's in Ukraine.
There's Thomas's error of the week. there's my first error of the podcast. There's going to be many to come.
Sorry, mate. I just had
Not
to.
a problem.
I'm like,
well, you know what? Let me fix it. They're currently in war with Russia, which we don't condone, obviously. But I do think that they're going to take that mentality. They're going to take that. If we lose, you know what? It's Paul. So I do think they're going to take that hunger, that mongrel, and I do think they're going to put a result over Porto. There you go, Shakhtar. I've made up for my amends.
Yeah. Look, I think Shakhtar's going to make it through.
Like Shakhtar.
But, yeah. Well, let's wrap it up with the good old A-League.
Good old A-League, the home domestic competition. I'll tell you what, my club, Western Sydney Wanderers, I work for the club as well. I'm not getting paid to say this, but poor performance from us, especially in the first half. Fun fact, Abdul, we have only scored in one half ever in 7 games. So we scored all our 3 goals. The result against Melbourne Victory was 4-3. We've only scored in one half.
Well,
poor.
Very, very poor.
Very poor.
Look, that game was interesting.
You sat with me next to me at the stadium, and I'll be honest, I'd rather be at Westfield shopping for Christmas presents that first half. Poor. Very poor.
You had more success going there. Look, to be fair...
At least I would have converted some chances.
Mate, possibly. I just have to say something. I think that scoreline flatters them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a 4-3 game.
No.
They recovered it in that last 10 minutes or so, 91st minute, to make it 4-3.
Yeah. But the Wanderers, for me, we're still yet to put a solid 90 minutes. We're still yet to put a solid 90 minutes together in the league.
Yeah.
We have glimpses. We have 45 minutes at Newcastle. We were down 2-0. At Brisbane Roar, we were down 2-0.
Yeah.
Second half. The last 3 games, we've scored all our goals in the second half. It's shocking. For me, I don't know why we start so poorly, or I don't know why we finish so poorly. This week, we just started so poorly and it's cost us.
So what's the solution to it then? Like if we're seeing it over the last 3 or 4 so games, what changes need to be made? Who needs to come in? What do you think?
For me, I'm not sure if you watched it last year as much as I did, but Aiden Simmons, for me, he had an injury cloud at the start of the year. He, for me, needs to get minutes. He came on second half for Tate Russell, who, don't get me wrong, has had 2 years of hell. He's been back-to-back injured. He's almost missed 2 years of football, to be honest.
Yeah.
And deservedly so. He got his place back, and he's really good attacking. Defensively, he's a bit poor. He's like a Trent. Obviously not to that level. But Aiden Simmons, for me, he's just a bit more solid defensively, and he's got that attacking flair in him. So I think he needs to come on.
Yeah.
Eunice, he's absolutely torn up the NPL. Eunice needs to start a game. Borello is injured for 3 months. He's going to cost us no matter who we bring in. Borello, for me, was the best player in the A-League last year. I think you can agree with that.
Yeah.
Although McLaren got golden boot, as he normally does. We'll speak about a certain Uruguayan soon. But I think Eunice needs to start a game for me on that right-hand side. Milanovic, you can't replace him. He didn't have his best game. He had moments, he had glimpses. But most definitely you need to start Eunice.
So what's stopping the gaffer from doing all of this?
I think he's protecting him. He's got a lot of, kid's got a lot of hype. Kid's got a lot of hype around him. He's a bit of a trickster, a bit of a showboat. But
at a certain point, if they're talented enough, they're old enough. It's just, for me,
well, you look at Irakunda.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's that talented that Bayern Munich have signed him. But for me, I would just love to at least give him a whole half. At least give him 60 minutes. And if he does that, then I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you that he needs to get the full 90.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I would like to give him 90 to start off with.
Yeah.
I think he's good enough.
Some players are good enough to be thrown in the deep end.
Yeah.
Like this bloke here, 17, 18 years old, look what he's doing.
Birmingham City, mate. God given captain.
God given captain. They retired the number after him. But
mate, at that rate, I think the club's going to retire Job's number as well.
Yeah,
but
can we talk about a Bruno I actually like?
Talk to me.
What a performance, man.
You can't argue with that.
Like, I don't like watching the Wanderers lose, but far out.
4 goals, mate. Can't argue with it, can you?
Mate, it's top of the charts as well.
11 and he's goals. Clear by 5. The next one, I think, is the Greek guy from Newcastle.
Yeah.
And tag it with 4. The A-League generally has 1 or 2 leads, but Bruno is on fire at the moment. Question for you. Does he make the Asian Cup squad in Qatar in February?
He does for me. I don't know if he does for Graham Arnold.
So he gets on the plane.
He gets on the plane for me.
For me, if Borello was fit, I would say no. For me.
It's form. You got to be picking on form sometimes.
I agree. And Borello didn't have the electrifying start to the season as Bruno. No. But Borello last year warmed up to it. He warmed up to the season. He got moved into striker, and then he just started exploding.
Yeah, but you also got to realise Australia's also a nation that can't sit there and rest on their laurels.
I agree.
If a player's in form, they're in form. You take them on a plane.
I agree.
We're not France. We're not Germany. We're not Netherlands, where we're blessed with depth. I'm talking Europe-wise. But even in Asia, when you look at teams like Japan who have that depth, that European quality depth, Australia don't necessarily have that to the point where they can pick that same 30 every time or 23.
I agree.
Sorry, and
it's a very good point.
You need to be taking players that are on form.
Even though he's 37 years old, you reckon he gets on the plane?
Form's form. If he's scoring goals, he's scoring goals. What's the difference between picking a 37-year-old that's going to score you 10, 11 goals over, let's just say, 7 or 8 games, than an 18-year-old who's going to score just because he's 18 and fresh and young, 6 goals in 6 games?
Would you start him, though? You got Duke. You got Boyle, who can possibly play there. Look, you got McLaren.
I wouldn't start him straight away.
Okay.
I think I would, in terms of that 11, go with what was working before.
Yep.
But if it isn't working into the first or the second game, you do need to make that change, and Bruno might need to come in there. So,
speaking of a possible wild card that I think should make the Asian Cup squad, plays for Central Southern Coast Mariners. Alo Kuo. He's come back to the league. Ooh. Top goal scorer for them. They're on a bit of a resurgence. I'll tell you a fun fact. They've lost their first 3 games.
Yeah.
Sorry, they've won They're undefeated in 3. They got 2 wins and a draw.
Yeah.
The shaky start of the year. They had 4 losses on the bounce.
Yeah.
And they won the league last year in the final, 6-1 against City. Incredible game. And they're looking good. Marco Tullio scored an amazing goal. But I think their opponents made them look good. Western United, for me, shocking. How do you go from being winners 2 years ago against Melbourne City in the final
to this?
And they got 1 win in 7.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
For me, I could put it down to one thing. I don't know if you can agree. They got no superstar. They've got no man. And in the A-League, historically, besides really the Mariners last year, because Montgomery is a really, really good coach.
Yeah.
They had no superstar, but they had a team.
Yeah.
They had a team. But Western United, they had Prijovic. They had Lacroix at the back, 6'8" guy. I think he's taller than you.
Oh, mate.
However, this year they've got no one.
Yeah.
They got a really homegrown team, which I respect. But I think they're looking for that main man up top, and they've lost him.
Well, they've lost, I think, the last 3 games, if I'm correct.
No, so they've only got 1 win in 7. 1 win in 7.
Yeah. I hear
Shocking.
You.
1 win in 7.
Yeah. 4 losses on the bounce in the A-League.
Wow. Listen, they can always look forward to next week. And I think with hopefully Christmas time, I think Santa hopefully grants their wishes. But hopefully to get a win. But I think we need to give Mariners a bit of credit as well, because Alo Qual, he looked good in the first time that he came. I think he lacked a bit more maturity. However, he's looking good now. He's looking really, really good. For me, I would give him, if there was a wild card or a draft like there is in America, for me, I would give him a ticket.
Yeah.
He's quick. He's not as physical, but he can push players off. He can get into positions. He can run off players as well.
Yeah.
I think we don't have that in the Aussie team. I'll be honest. I think we got players such as we got Irvine, we got Bacchus, who are solid in the midfield, really strong. But Alo Qual, for me, even as a 10, he's just a little wild card.
Yeah, but I think with Australia, it's deeper than that. They've never had that type of player.
Yeah.
Like, it's a matter of changing your style, switching it up, being able to play different, bring in different characters.
So you don't think he fits the system? Is that what you're saying?
I think the system needs to change to fit him.
You think he's got that potential?
I think he's got that potential.
Likewise. I do think Alo Qual, for me, if I was in the Wanderers' effective decision making, for me, I would give him a run. He's just unique. We've signed someone from Saudi Arabia, Qual. He got a goal and assist against Melbourne Victory.
Yeah,
he looked electric. But I think Alo is he's got something different. He's a bit skinnier, and he just gets into positions. And
he's still growing into his body.
True.
That is one thing people forget with 18, 19-year-old footballers. You don't necessarily get comfortable with your body till you're about 21, 22.
True.
So he's still got a long way to go, but the potential's there.
Best of luck to him.
And back on the Aussie point, the style of football, the team that we've had for the last, I'd say 20 years at least, it's like for like. We lose one player, we bring in the exact same one the next time.
Very predictable.
It's very predictable.
I think that's the word. It's very predictable.
Yeah.
However, you can't argue with the best place finish in the World Cup that we've ever had.
No.
For the men's.
That I can't argue with. I just think it's time for a change. We can do better. Look at the pool we have. It's a bigger picture. You got to look at the pool of players in Australia.
Bigger pool. However, I don't think the system in Australia. I think the MPL. We can get it.
That's a whole different conversation for another day. Yeah.
Just quickly, I don't think that the second tier gives enough talent to the first tier.
Yeah.
They don't get that exposure.
It's
and Graham Arnold can't go to every single game at Boca Stadium, at Marconi Stadium.
Yeah, Paul Keating Park, Bankstown. Yeah. No.
I don't think he can see everyone, which I don't blame.
I agree.
But these kids, and there are talented kids, they need to be given this opportunity. They need to be seen on the light. And credit to Adelaide for giving the Irakundas, for the Mohamed Tourés, for giving them this spotlight to give them a go.
See, I think at the end of the day, football in Australia is an elite sport.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
where success in this sport in this country comes from, you know, whether you've got the connections, whether you've put in the most amount of money. Like, it costs a lot of money to put your kids into sport.
I agree.
And by sport, specifically football.
I agree.
Imagine you've got 4 or 5, let's just say, kids that you want to, you know, your own kids that you want to get to play football. That's taken out a loan in a second.
Abdul, next week's podcast,
Yeah.
I think we're going to speak about this further. For me, it's a really interesting point. I'm going to leave you with one thing before we wrap up. In England, they go to the poorest areas, and they scout the players that no one's ever heard of. They go to the poorest areas, and I'll tell you why that is, Abdul. Those kids have hunger and desire. It's that mentality where if I don't make it, I'm still homeless.
Yeah.
I don't have money to put for the table.
Yeah.
I can't buy dinner.
Yeah.
I can't help my family.
Yeah.
That's their life. If they don't make it, they're finished. In Australia, if you got connections and you've got enough money, you'll get given a shot.
100%.
You get given a shot. Whether you're not good enough at the end of the day, that's on your prerogative.
Yeah.
But it is a shame, and I know personally, such good, talented footballers that just don't get a shot.
Can I before we go into depth next week, my thing is that some people just have their hand in their pocket for too long. You're willing to give that one person a chance for free, when if you drive down, let's just say 10 kilometers inwards, or just like I've grown up in Canterbury Bankstown.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, I can look at the fields and the resources that we have in our area.
Ooh.
And
that's a different topic.
That's a different topic.
Yeah,
but it plays into it.
Of course it does.
Okay.
Of course it does.
When I can drive up 20 minutes to, let's just say, you know, probably about half an hour, North Sydney.
Yeah.
Look at the facilities over there.
Abdul, let me tell you something, just quickly, because I'll tell you what, I could go for 3 or 4 podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm from the Fairfield area, Fairfield, Liverpool.
Yeah.
I am yet to have a free synthetic pitch, which I can just go on, a full field pitch, and just have a kick around with my mates.
You can't.
Whether it's rain, hail, sun or shine, we're still out there in the muddy pitches kicking it around because of the love for the game. That's the sad thing. We're going to leave it there because we're going to run out of time. But viewers, look forward to next week where we are going to go into depth into the Australian football scenario and why we don't think talented players get given a shot.
And just a note there, like I know enough people and you know enough
Likewise.
people that I've met and that are talented footballers. They've got so much talent, and like I'm talking, I joke around about, you know, my ability. I can jump on goals and do that. But these people are absolutely,
they're freaks.
They're freaks, honestly. But they haven't been given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know, a much lesser player at 15 or 16 will get that opportunity. This, let's just say 24, 25-year-old now,
correct, should
have had 10 years ago.
Correct.
So,
and I think Australia is one of the rare exceptions. No, one of the rare contributors to that. For me, I can't think of another country that has that elitist mentality. Maybe America, for me.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anyone else.
Tom, again, we'll go into the depth next week.
Yeah.
I still find it ridiculous that I was playing Div 9 or Div 8 football a couple of seasons ago. Okay. Our games got postponed because, let's just say, there were 20 other games that couldn't be played, or whatever it was, you know, rain, too much sun, whatever it is. Our games got cancelled first. I still had to pay $600 for a fee when the season I only ended up playing about 8 or 9 games. How ridiculous is that when we weren't even put first priority? And why is that?
Elitist sport.
It's an elitist sport. This is all age Div 8 football.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, we'd like to thank the Bella Vista Hotel.
Absolutely. We'd also like to thank New Era Vision, who's been helping us and promises to get the content out a bit quicker. Yeah.
No, pay your electricity bill, mate.
No more blackouts. No
more blackouts. But look, it's been a pleasure, Tom.
Likewise.
I think next week should be very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll be dropping into much deeper topics.
We'll still cover the Prem guys and all the interesting fixtures. I'm sure Abdul's going to have some interesting words about Arsenal.
Yeah.
But we've been the UBF podcast. I've been Thomas.
I've been Abdul.
Signing off.